Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Saludos a my raza, my brothers, and everybody down with our cause and trying to figure out a way to fight back. First of all, I want to talk about this class war that they're calling COVID, or they're hiding behind other things, distracting you. But we'll get into that a little later, as I have a lot to say about that. And see, what's happening is we're fighting a class war, which ends up to be racism, because most of the minorities are at the lower end of the spectrum. And I want to tell you guys that religion was the first form of racism, as it divided us as people. Later on, as civilization progressed, they attached religion to government, and the government then decided to separate us more, not only by race now, but by income. And so right now, what they're doing is they're practically choking us. They got their knee on our throat. See, what happened is they've taken control of what we call monopolization of the industry. So chains like Walmart and Target, they're receiving their food at a much lower price because they're bigger and they're able to give you a lower price. But to us, in a situation that we're in right now, we think, we're gonna save some money by buying these cheaper items. But in actuality, we're feeding the government's cause, as all these conglomerates are owned by government agencies or government people directly related to the government, who have their hands in the pockets of the government as it stands right now. So, my idea, and what I believe that some people are already doing on their own, is to cut back on certain items. Now, I can't tell you what to do. The only thing I can tell you is that the government is telling you what you do, and what they're going to do, they're going to break all the mom and pop shops down, or the smaller businesses, and by doing so, they're going to control our food and control how we get it, the prices, how much we get paid. If you think about this now is going to turn into a dangerous situation where we're living just to feed ourselves. Right now they have control over the states. They're telling you where you can and can't go. What happens when they tell you, well, we want you working not 8 hours, we want you working 12 hours now, and if not, you're not going to make enough money to get food and get by. There's not going to be rent control because we're not coming together, as a civilization, as humans, as Mexicans, as blacks, as whites that are in the same ideals as us. And a lot of these other races, they believe that because they're not part of the minority, they're not going to be judged. But their government's watching. If you're exchanging greetings, or if you're hanging out with them, if you're biracial couple, we have families that are biracial, you're susceptible to the same treatment that we are. So it's beneficial that you don't listen to the words that they're telling you about what's going on, but look at the bigger picture. Look around you. Look at what's going on. They're saying that they're doing it for our benefit, for our health. Well, I'm almost 40 years old. We've been through many flus and different kinds of strains of whatever you want to call it, pig flu, swine flu, and we're perfectly fine. I'm perfectly healthy right now. So for them to use that as an excuse, you know why? It's bullshit. Don't believe it. Don't believe what they're saying. Later on, we'll touch more on those subjects, as I've been trying to feed you guys. But the way to combat this is, before we allow them to control the smaller establishments, is to frequent the mom and pop shops. And although you might be paying a higher price, believe me, it's worth your life and it's worth your freedom, because that's what it amounts to. So a lot of people right now they're not buying beef, they're not buying pork, they're limiting themselves to chicken and rice, just the basics. I'm not telling you to starve yourself, but you're going to be saving yourself and your children's future by doing this. Limit what you buy. If you don't need clothes right now, you have clothes. All the extra stuff. We're in a serious situation, but it seems like nobody's taking it seriously, or maybe they just don't have the right leadership to help them take it seriously. And in being in the situation I am, I feel free to speak to you guys and tell you guys what's right and what's wrong. And they may have you believe otherwise or feed you propaganda, but I'm here to tell you, that's the exact reason why we're in this situation today, so that you're not able to hear the truths that I'm able to speak. And additionally, if you smoke, man, right now is the time to just, that's all federal money, all government money. Alcohol, all federal money, all government money. So what you're doing by buying extra items and extra food and all this splendor is you're feeding the government's cost to keep us tied down, and you're practically handing them the handcuffs to put on our hands. So being myself, like I said, I tell you guys my name, you guys know who I am. You want to look me up. I have all the experience with these types of situations. I know how these people deal, and they know how I deal, which is why I find myself in this situation today. So that, that's all I can ask, and share what I believe is what is in not my best interest, what's in your guys' best interest. That's all I can do is try to open your guys' mind up to the possibilities that are still out there, not the possibilities that they're telling you are out there, those which are just restrictions and more restrictions and more restrictions. People get money hungry, and they believe they have a right over other people. I believe in one God, which is the Son. The Son, doesn't alienate anyone. It feeds us, it gives us what we need to grow, and we all live under it, and it gives us night and it gives us day. It gives us water, it gives us waves. If everybody would throw away these labels of these so-called Catholic religious people, Moors, all these people that they tell you that they're separate religions, but in the background, up in the hills, they're all fucking together, doing things that and doing the things that they point at the fingers at us for. And I'll touch that on a later date. But hey, there's not many ways to fight right now, so we got to choose our options wisely and do it to the best of our abilities. And a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about out here, and for those who don't, stay tuned, and I'll continue to speak to you guys the way that I know how, and try to open your guys' minds up to to the possibilities. I don't look at trouble as a restriction. I look at it as a new way to find new ideas to get around the what they want to restrict us to. They want to restrict us from nature, from our food. That's just nonsense. And so just tighten up the belt, man. And I respect you guys for listening. And be safe out there, and remember that you're not only thinking about yourselves, but you're thinking about your children and your children's children and the future of everybody, even those who believe that they're untouchable. And everybody could be reached. And I just thank you for your time, and be safe. Blessings.